Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. A few days ago I made a video on how to convert a Word document to Markdown. But then I thought, why don't I show you how to convert a Word document like this one that you can see here, which is the fun design guidelines developed by one of my colleagues, into a very beautiful website that looks like this one here that you can see on my screen. As you can see, the website it looks great and is a great way for you to share your documentation that you have created with the public, or even to create a simple website. So we're going to use the Microsoft Word document as an input. We're going to convert it to Markdown using Pandoc, and then we're going to convert that Markdown file into a static website like this one that you can host for free on Netlify or on GitHub Pages, which I think is great. You're going to see that it's super simple to convert that Word document into a website like this one in almost no times. And it does not require any prior knowledge in how to make a website, how to create a static website. It's going to be super simple, I promise you. You're going to need just a few things, which I'm going to take you and explain how to install them. Okay? So before we get started, I just would like to ask you if you can to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content. So you're going to be recommended with this type of content in the future, and it's a great way for you to support my channel. If you want also, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee or supporting me on Patreon. More information on how to buy me a coffee and how to support me on Patreon down in the video description below. But let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to need is Pandoc installed on our computer. So we can go on internet and then search for Pandoc, and we're going to here installing Pandoc. This is the main tool that we're going to use to convert the Word document into a Markdown file. So just go ahead, download and install it. I've already installed it on my computer, so I don't need to do anything else here. Then we can go to the Retype website. So we get done with all the installation. We can go in Getting Started here, and we can see which are the dependencies. So basically, Retype uses npm, and consequently, you will have to have npm installed or yarn installed on your computer. Just go ahead and install Node. So here in the Quick Start, just install Node, and we can go here in Google, search for Node, Node.js, download. So you're going to install this one. I technically should install the 64-bit because my computer is 64-bit, and then you just install it on your computer, and then you should be ready to go. So if you get any other problem on how to install these two software, Pandoc and Node, let me know down and write a comment. Also write a comment if you like the video, because it's very nice to hear from you. So now that we are all set up and we have hopefully installed Pandoc and Node on our computer, we just have to find where our document is. In my case, I can just close it here, and I have it in this folder on the desktop, which is called docx2 website. I'm going to use VS Code in this video because I think it's a very nice IDE. I generally use PyCharm, but for this video I'm going to use VS Code because I know that many of you are using VS Code, but you don't need it. It's highly recommended to use it, but again, if you don't want to install it on your computer, it's optional. So the first thing that we're going to do is we go here in the navigation and we open the command bar. So cmd here. So we're going to use first a command that allows us to convert our Word document into a Markdown. So let's go here in the README, and I will write this command down in the video description below. So don't worry too much about it. So we're going to do Pandoc, and then we copy this command here into the terminal. So it's very important that you are inside the folder where you have your Google Doc. So let's copy and paste this command here. Let me zoom a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say Pandoc-t. This is going to give a flavor of Markdown. And again, check out my previous video if you want to find out more. Then we're also going to extract the media in the same folder. So this is what this command does, extract media and with a period after. Then we're going to say the input document, which is the funguide.docx, which is basically the name of the file and its own extension of the Word file. And then we have the output, which is going to be called main.markdown. We can change this, and actually let's change this into a guide because this is not going to change anything. So we're going to say guide.markdown. This is going to convert the document for us. It has created our document, so we can close the command line. And as you can see here, now we have guide, which is the markdown document, and we have media. Media contains all the figures that were inside our Word document, and now they are all extracted, so we can embed them inside Markdown. So the last step that we need to do is to open the command line again, but not inside media. You have to open it here in the root directory, so cmd, and we are going to go ahead and install retype. In order to install retype, we can see here the instruction. We just have to do npm install retype app --global. So the --global has been superseded. So you're going to get a small error here, a warning actually. It's not an error, it's just telling us that in future we can say location.global. So this means that it's installing a retype app in our computer. And then the next step that we need to do is retype watch. This is going to create a local host which is going to run our website and is going to run it locally. So we can make changes, it has hot reload. So while we make changes to the markdown files, then we're going to see in real time all the changes that have been applied. So let's type retype. Of course, this is not correct. We have to say retype watch, and then let's run it. As you can see here, is running, is super fast, and here on localhost port 5000 is creating our website. And here we have our beautiful website in almost no time. So the main page, and this again you can read a bit more inside the retype, the documentation. They have a lot of information over there. I'm not going to cover everything, but I've already another video about retype on my YouTube channel. So please check that out if you want to find out more. I also have a comparison between different Markdown sites generator. So just check those two videos out because I think you're going to find them very useful. But let's have a look here what we have. So we have the project name, we have links here at the top, we have a footer, and then we have only 2 pages at the moment. Why we have only 2 pages? Well, if we navigate inside our local folder, we have just 2 pages. We have the README and the guide. So retype always uses this README as the starting page of our website. And in fact, inside the README, as we could see here before inside VS Code, we have this text here. And this is reflected actually here on our website. And then we have about this design guide, which is the document that we have actually converted from Word. Okay? So this is everything that we have, and it is already been imported inside our website. So I'm going to split the screen and I'm going to just open this document. So we're going to open a folder here. So we can go in desktop and then we can go doc to website, and then we're going to select this folder. So we're going to be able to, we say yes, trust these authors. And here we have all our document. As I told you, it's very easy if you use VS Code because you can see all your files that are inside this folder here on the left, and here on the right, we're going to be able to edit these files. So let's go in readme.markdown and we can go here to the main page and we can see that this content is exactly the same. If we want to change it, for instance, and we want to make it nicer, this as the code that is below, we can just simply do this. And as you can see, as we make changes, these changes get updated in real time and automatically. Let's go inside this guide.markdown and let's have a look about the issue that we're getting. So we can see that retype is not able actually to understand the GitHub flavor markdown. So no problem at all about that. Let's go and rerun the same command that we ran before inside pandoc here. So we can actually find the terminal inside here, VS Code. So let's go here, and then we search for terminal, here, new terminal. So we have the terminal nice and easy to access here at the bottom. So we go into the README, and this time we are going to take out the GitHub flavor markdown option. So let's get this command here and let's run it into the terminal. Again, just make sure that you are inside the right folder. Here at the bottom, I'm inside the users, Federico, desktop, and docs2 markdown. So I'm just going to paste this command here, and this is going to re-extract all the figures and is going to update again the document. So here we had the guide, which was the old one, and in this case, my bad, I just call it main.markdown. No worries, let's delete the old file that it was not working, and then we move it to the recycle bin, and now we have main.markdown. Okay, so now as you can see, all the media are imported in and enter in the markdown correctly. So if we go back here into about this design guideline, we should be able now to see all the medias. And again, the reason why we are not seeing the media actually this time is because we have this weird notation which has the parentheses. I again covered that in my previous video. I'm actually showing you all these mistakes and this error that you may experience because I want to show you how to troubleshoot them. Okay? So now the last thing that I want to show you is how to organize and subdivide this main.markdown page into sub-pages and create sections inside the navigation bar in retype. And then we're going to build the project and we're going to deploy it on Netlify. So you can share your website with whoever you want. So let's go for a second and look for all those weird things that we were getting before. So this width here. So I show you a quick tip. In my configuration, I set up that with Alt-J, I can have a multiple cursor. So as you can see here, I'm doing a multiple select. Then I select all the way till the end here, and I'm going to delete all this extra code, markdown code that was generated for us. So we should be able to see the other images. So this is image 2, and then we have image 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are all our images, and they are displaying perfectly well now. Okay? So what do we need to do is we want to give a bit of structure to this document, okay? So at the moment we have the README page. Let me bring it here. So we have this README page, and then we have all our Word document into one single page. This is not a problem, but I guess you want to subdivide these into sub-pages, okay? So how can we go about to do that? Well, that's very simple. So we just go back here, we just divide the screen in two tabs. Here we are, so we can see what we are doing. And we go here inside VS Code. So we have to create a folder. So here we click on new folder and we call it introduction. Great, so we have a folder. This folder is not yet appearing here on the left simply because we have not added any page inside. So we're going to add a page and we are going to call it about.markdown. This is going to be one page, and as you can see already, we have our page which is about inside here, but it has no content at the moment. So where do we get this content? We get it from the main document. We want to just take out some content from here and we want to just paste it over there. So we do Ctrl X and then we go inside about and then we paste this content here. And automatically, as you can see, the auto reload is updating our document and now we can see the sub page inside. Then we're going to create another page inside here, for instance, which is called benefits of elevated airspeed. Okay? So again, inside introduction, we are going to create a new file and then we call it benefits.markdown. And then inside here, we are going to get again some text from here. So we're going to call it benefit. And let me see till the next heading. So here, till thermal comfort. So let's copy this text here and we're going to paste it inside here. And now you have a second page which say benefits, okay? And again, something like this, we can go ahead and keep adding pages inside our documentation and restructure it as you want it. We can, of course, add the new folders. We can, of course, change the content, and we can do whatever we want. One last thing that I want to show you, because I think is very important, is how to organize these pages. If, for instance, you want to have the benefits page coming before the about page, and also another thing that I would like to show you is how to fix the problem with the image here, because as you can see now we have again an issue because we have nested these page benefits inside this introduction folder. So in order to get the media, because it's one level up, we need to put a dot here when we grab this image. Retype has a lot of features, and as you can see, you can toggle between light and dark, and if you put it in light mode, now you can read the chart very well. It has also a lot of very beautiful things because we can filter here the navigation bar and we can do a search in our website. But again, this is not the scope of this video. I have already a video on that because this video is already getting quite long. So if you want to change the order of the pages, well, that's quite simple. You just have to go here at the top, and here we can actually specify a lot of things in the preface of the document, and we can say order, and then we're going to say 1 here, and then let me change here. So as you can see, benefits now is coming before the about page because we have changed the order. So then you can give different orders to different pages. So let me go into the about page here. And then we can say order 1. And in this case, the order 1, since they have the same order, about is coming before because this is heading 1. Okay? But if I put order 2, okay, this also is the same because order 2 now here is the opposite. Like you have to put a higher number if it wants to be up at the top. So let me go into benefits. Let me put order 10. Now benefits is at the top. Okay, so the page with a higher order is like the zeta in HTML, if you are familiar. With a higher order, it comes higher in the list on the left. Okay, and then of course here there are a lot of things that you can change, like you can put a label and you can say test, and this should change the label of in the navigation bar. Lots of other features that you can check here in retype. And then you have formattings, and then you have configuration, and configuration, for instance, of the page. A lot of other things that you can change in the metadata inside the Markdown file. So let's go to the end, and let's see how we can host our documentation on a Netlify, for instance, and how we can make it public with the whole world, because at the moment the website is inside our computer and no one else can access it. Okay, so we just have to do a retype build. So let's stop this here. So we press, we go back into the terminal, we press Ctrl C. So now that we have stopped our local host, we can go inside here in the terminal and we're going to say retype, and then we're going to say retype build. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of time and is going to build our website for us, and is actually telling us that there is one warning. We should check technically inside the warning and make sure that everything is fine, but for the moment I just want to show you how you can deploy this website here. So here we have this retype output. We can also change this in the configuration, and we could like just call it in a different way, this build folder. Now, just for the simplicity, sorry, I'm going to just call it build folder, just to make sure that it's going to work perfectly fine with Netlify. So we go back here into Netlify. You can create an account for free. I already have an account, so we say login. I'm going to log in with my personal email. Perfect. And then we are going to add a new site and deploy manually in this case. And then we just have to simply go inside the docs website here. So here we have our build folder. We just simply drag it here. And this should take only a few seconds. And then Netlify should deploy our website for us. It should be that simple. Of course, later on, if you don't want to do that manually every time, you can have a GitHub action, you can configure the Netlify client on your local computer, and a lot of other things that are going to make this process simpler. But right now, we have our website up and running in almost no time from a Microsoft Doc or a Google Doc. You can get a Google Doc, save it as a Microsoft Doc, and then you can do the same thing, which I really think is a great thing that you have learned today, because you're going to be able to easily create a documentation website in almost no time with a lot of functionalities. Of course, you can change the domain if you want to, and domain name, but here is our beautiful website that we can share with our colleagues and friends. We have the landing page, we have the introduction, and then which is a collapsible drop-down bar. We have the test, we have about this design guideline. We can change the theme, and we can also look for text inside here. So we say thermal comfort, and here is the heading about thermal comfort, and we can read more. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot to me. You can also support my channel by buying me a coffee or supporting me on Patreon, but just a like or a comment will do it. I really appreciate a nice comment from my audience. Thank you very much for listening, and see you in the next video.